Hello everybody, welcome to the Black Orchids 2019 Awards. Why am I calling it that? Because I think it sounds cool, to put it bluntly. There's no other reason really. So as you all know, we have just entered into the 2020s, so I thought it'd be fun to dress up as if it were the 1920s for this video. So this awards show is just going to be a whole collection of different awards that I've created to cover the different books and characters I've discovered or read throughout this past year. I'm not going to include a favorite book because I do actually have a separate video about that, which I'll link down below, but this is going to cover all kinds of other different types of things. So this first video is going to be the first section of the book awards. There's going to be two categories, books and characters, so this one will be all books. So the way this is going to work is I will show a number of nominees that I've picked for each category. They're going to be either shown here or before the clip starts. I'm not totally sure which yet. We'll see how it goes in editing. And the first award is the Can't Put It Down award. This is going to go to a book that hooked me and I just couldn't put it down once I started reading it. And in this case, it's going to go to The Graveyard Book by Neil Gaiman. I have made it no secret this year how much I love this book. It is so interesting, and it's largely structured more like a collection of short stories than a novel, but it is technically a novel and does follow a continuous plot, and it's amazing. The world that Gaiman builds in this book is really interesting, and I love Bod, the main character. I've talked about this book to death, so I'm not going to talk about it too much more here. I have other videos about it, which I'll link down below. This is probably the book I read this year that I would recommend the most. It is amazing. And now to move in the opposite direction, we now have the Disappointed Award. This goes to a book that I thought I would love, but I didn't. And it's going to go this time to Artemis, Fowl, the graphic novel. Now just to clarify, I don't think this is a bad book. It is a good book. The reason why I didn't especially enjoy it is because I read the novel years ago. I absolutely love it. I love the whole series. And when I read the graphic novel, I found that I just didn't connect with the characters as much as I do in the novel. I'm not sure why that is. That was just a thing that I have with this book. For some weird reason, I do enjoy graphic novels. I've read other graphic novels, just for some reason with this one. Not sure what it was. Maybe it was just that I read the novel first. I don't know. Now switching back to the positives, because I prefer not to make this too negative. The next award is the Better Than Expected award. This goes to a book that I enjoyed a lot more than I was anticipating. In this case, it's going to the Artemis Fowl Files by Owen Colfer. Now, as I just said, I love the Artemis Fowl books, but I've noticed I don't tend to enjoy companion books as much, at least not when they're more collections of short stories and extra little tidbits rather than a full novel. And that's what this is. It has two novellas in it and then a couple of extra little fun things in the middle. But I loved it. This book has some really interesting things happen with the characters, especially the second novella. I really like the development that Artemis and Holly get in this book. Next is the Beyond the Comfort Zone award. This is going to a book that I would not pick up on my own, but was recommended to me by another person, or I just discovered through another book, or whatever route I happened to find. And I'm going to give that award to The Happiness Trap by Russ Harris. Now this book, it is very good. It has a lot of really good points. I'm, for whatever reason, struggling to get through it, but it's not because of the quality of the book. I'm not sure what it is, honestly. Up next is the I Didn't Know I Liked This award. This goes to a book that I didn't know I would like, so pretty much exactly what it sounds like. And I don't have the physical book because I listened to this one on an audiobook, but the book that I'm going to give this award to is Quiet by Susan Cain. It is a very interesting study of introversion and extroversion and kind of what they are and how they function. Primarily introversion, but she does talk a bit about extroversion just by nature of contrasting the two. And yeah, it's totally one I would recommend. It's very engaging, very interesting, and really informative. Next is the Poetry Award. This is going to go to a book that has very poetic, beautiful writing. Now, there's a lot of books I read this year that could qualify for this. I read a surprising number of beautiful books this year, but I'm going to give it to The Screaming Staircase by Jonathan Stroud. I mentioned this in my review of this book, which I'll link down below, but there's something about the way he writes that is just so immersive and inviting. Even though it's a terrifying environment, you kind of want to be there just to feel the environment that he's created, and it's incredible. And the last award we're going to cover in this video is the Why Did I Put This Down award. And I'm going to give it to Artemis Fowl, The Last Guardian. This is the final book in the Artemis Fowl series, and for some reason I haven't finished it yet, despite the fact that I started it in 2018. I am almost finished it now, actually. I've been powering through it the last couple of days, but I'm not done yet. And I don't know why I put it down. I just suddenly didn't feel like reading it anymore, so it's taking a long time. I'm not going to say too much on my thoughts regarding this book yet, just because that's probably going to be a separate review. But yeah, Artemis Fowl, The Last Guardian. So thank you for watching, you guys. I'm going to post the next awards video tomorrow, and it'll probably be a similar length, but we'll see. That's going to be the rest of the book awards, and it's going to get a lot more specific and possibly quirky with those ones. What books would you have given these awards to? I know there's a lot of different books that could qualify for them. So have a wonderful week and an amazing day. See you later.